Some people have told me that they don't believe that I ever stuttered. In fact, I've had people tell me that you're lying because you're just trying to sell us programs. Now, I want people to say the same thing about you. No, not that you're lying, but that they don't believe you ever stuttered because you're such an excellent speaker. My name is Michael Williams, and for sure I stuttered from the time I was very young all the way well into my late 20s. There were times in school where I can remember not raising my hand even though I knew the answer. I used to hate reading in school and reading in church. I still would do it, but I hated doing it. That's the thing I hated the most, actually. There were opportunities that I just avoided because it required me to speak or something like that. I can remember when I graduated from college, one of my first jobs was working for an insurance agency on the telephone, and I hated talking on the phone. I would avoid it if I could. And I remember I had to be on the phone all day long, and there were times when I couldn't get anything out. I couldn't get the hello out, so I would hang up, and we would get in trouble for that. There were times when I would come home with headaches from having to avoid and do all kinds of acrobatics to figure out how to get words out. In fact, I equate it to walking around with a big, heavy, wet, black blanket, right? Just this heavy burden that you have to carry around with you all the time. And I can recall the time when that blanket was lifted, and I'll tell you about that later in another part of the program, but I just can't explain to you the freedom that I experienced. I can remember talking sometimes, usually it was on the phone, where I would clamp down on my tongue so hard trying to get something out that I would bite my tongue and it would start to bleed. I mean, I know some of you have experienced this or something similar. So I know what you're going through. I know what you've been through. I know how it feels to feel limited, to feel held back, to know that even if you're doing well now, to know that you could be doing even better. I talked to someone who was earning 30% less because of speech. So I know that you're intelligent. I know that you're very capable. I know that you want and that you know that you can do much better than what you're doing now. Even if you're doing well now, you know that you could do much better, that you could feel more secure knowing that you could speak well, knowing that you have control over your speech. You'd feel more peaceful, you'd be happier, your relationships would be better, right? Your social life. You'd feel better about yourself, and you'd probably be able to impact other people in a more profound way if you knew that you could say whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted to say it, and in the way that you want to say it, right? I know that this is true. So what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you to watch the introductory video, and it's absolutely free. Because in that video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at 3 requirements for successfully achieving your life and your speech goals. Because, see, stuttering is impacted by every area of your life, and it impacts every area. It impacts your career, it impacts your health, it impacts your relationships, it impacts everything, right? It impacts how you see yourself, impacts your spirituality, and is impacted by those things. So we're going to look at 3 requirements for achieving your life and your speech goals. We're also going to look at 5 obstacles, some of which all of you are going to face. Absolutely, there are some of these obstacles that every last one of you will face. Some of you will face all of these obstacles. So we're going to look at these because once you know what they are, then you're better prepared to either avoid them or deal with them, all right? And then finally, we're going to just do a brief overview of this course. Now, is this course just for people that stutter? No, it's also for people who want to improve their speech. Let's say English is your second language, you want to improve your speech. This is an excellent course for you. Let's say you have a severe fear of public speaking. Excellent course for you. The same principles apply to you. The same principles that I'll be sharing with you in this course apply to any transformation or change that you're trying to make. This course is not about breathing techniques, although we know breathing is a major issue, right? This course is not about How do I pronounce this letter? I have problems saying C's or consonants or vowel sounds. How do I just want to fix that. Or I only stutter, right, situationally stutter. I only stutter in this situation or in these situations. Can we just work on that? No, this program is not about that. Well then, what is this about? What we don't try to do is we don't try to fix stuttering. We don't try to stop stuttering. What? Just follow me. We don't try to stop. We don't try to treat stuttering. So what do, Michael? Well, you've heard the old saying that it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to change an old habit. Well, what's not impossible, in fact, what is very possible, is creating a new habit, a new way or pattern of speaking and thinking. Because stuttering is not just how we speak, it's also how we think. So we have to change how we speak as well as how we think. And that's what we'll be looking at in the PRO90D Speech System 2.0. We're going to be looking at that, and we're also going to be looking at how do we create a new speaking style. We're not going to try to change the old one, we're going to create a new one. And it's not going to be anything strange or weird, it's going to be you. But there's a process that we go through to create this new speaking style, and that's what this system does, is it systematically walks you through how to create a new speaking style. So if you're interested in that, if you really want to transform your speech and transform your entire life, that is your relationships, your social life, your career, your employment opportunities, your income, your health, how you feel about yourself. If you really want to transform those things, then I want to invite you to take a look at the introductory video, which is absolutely free, and we'll run through those 3 areas that we talked about earlier. So once again, this is Michael Williams. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the introductory video.